Alright, so I'm out today, out here in Western Sydney, in this suburban park, looking for eastern brown snakes. You wouldn't really think that a suburban park is a good place to look for such a dangerous snake, but the truth is that eastern browns are one of the most prevalent snakes in the suburbs of Sydney, and the places that are closer to suburbia are better for brown snakes because of rats and mice, and their main food items are sort of hanging around. That's why the brown snakes are thriving within such close proximity to people. And yeah, we're just out in this small park and there is an insane amount of brown snakes out here. Hopefully we can turn some up. I got out here a bit late today and it's really hot already, so I think they're going to be a bit harder to find than on a cooler day. But if we don't get one today, that's alright, because I'll come back out tomorrow. But you know what? I've got the lucky frog socks on, so, you know, you already know what that means. I'll probably spend a few hours out here until it's too hot, and hopefully we can turn one up today. Snakes sight here. Nothing underneath. It's probably too warm today for him to be basking. Well, it would have been alright earlier, but I took too long to get out here, so they're probably going to be on the move. They're probably going to be really quick to dip straight into this grass. What was that? I don't know, a lot of the time you just sort of hear like a rustle in the bush, and then you kick the bush a little bit and a brown snake shoots out. There's so much cover here for him to disappear into, so it can make it kind of tricky to get one, but we'll see how we go. Gonna give it a few hours and hopefully we'll have a bit of luck. This rock pile that runs along the path is the spot. Like, I have seen so many brown snakes in this bit of pile of rocks here just next to the footpath, and like people just be walking past with no idea that they're walking straight past brown snakes. I'll throw in a few clips of some of the browns I've seen in here. Like, oh, hang on, there's two here. Oh, no way. They were mating. No. They were literally mating. That's what the oh, look at that. These rocks go so deep. There's just a labyrinth of holes and crevices that these brown snakes can just live in. But yeah, it's definitely too warm today for them to be basking, I'd say. It's a lot more hard going than it usually is out here though, especially because it's later in the season. Like, the cooler days in spring seem to be the go for them. Just thought that was the biggest black snake. Fucking pair of gumboots. That's a stick up. Yes. It's in here. Fuck it. Where'd you go? See what I mean? They just disappear in this grass. Like, when you get them on the footpath, they're slow. I'm going to give you a bit of time, but once he hits that grass, they're like a missile. And because he's small, it's a lot harder to hear him. If that was a 5-foot snake, we'd have a lot better chance of getting him. Just checked back at that video and you can't even really see what's going on, but I came out of the bush up there and just looked down here and there was like a 2.5-foot brown snake just cruising across the footpath. And as soon as he hit the edge of the footpath, he was gone like a rocket. But you know what, that's a good sign they're moving, so let's keep going. Bit of cloud cover coming in, holding the sun away, which is exactly what we want. So, surely, right there. Nice, okay. Is an eastern brown snake. So they're the second most venomous snake in the world, and it's taken me a few hours today to find this one. Look how alert he is. He's got his tongue flicking that fast. And he's just out here in this park out in Western Sydney. It is so crazy to me that there are this many brown snakes within such close proximity to people's houses. Like, someone literally walked on the footpath straight past him before, like maybe 2 minutes before I even got there. And this is a typical defensive behaviour. So what they do is they just sort of jump at you, they charge you, they get you on the back foot, as you'll see in a sec. Oh, he's got his head in the grass now, but they'll try and get you on the back foot. And once they do that, it makes enough of a gap between you and the snake that it can get away ready. So he jumps at me, he charges me a little bit, or maybe charges me for a metre or two, then goes the opposite way. So that's what people think. That's people mistake for being chased by a snake. Like, it's not chasing me at all. It's trying to push me away on the back foot when he's got nowhere to go, so he can get away. So these are easily one of the most misunderstood snakes in Australia. They're also one of the most feared, and while they've probably got one of the highest death rates of any snake in Australia. If you think about it, they're a snake that lives so close to people. You know, they're coming into suburbia to eat the rats and the mice. They're one of the snakes that you're most likely to run into. Like the species like the inland taipan. Technically, they're the most venomous snake on earth, and they've got no deaths to their name, simply because of the fact that they live so remote and so far away from people that there's almost never interactions with people. And that's the only reason that people run into brown snakes as often as they do, and why they have such a bad reputation, and because of this behaviour that people mistake for chasing, when it's really not. It's just a complete misunderstanding that's led to brown snakes getting such a horrible name, and this horrible stigma surrounding brown snakes that, you know, it leads to people killing snakes. It leads to people hating snakes and fearing them when they're really nothing to be afraid of. You can see how hard they were for me to find today. They want nothing to do with people. They're not, you know, out trying to get you. They're a hard snake to get close to. You saw the first one that just disappeared. This one almost did the same thing. This is sort of your typical coloured eastern brown, but it's insane the colours and the variations that they can come in. I'll throw in a few photos now of some different looking eastern browns that I've photographed, but that barely even scratches the surface on some that other people have seen. That's one of the coolest things about them, is that, you know, you can find so many different looking eastern browns. They're just such a variable species, and the juveniles usually start out with these bands. They look like a completely different snake, and then they fade with age generally, although sometimes you can find adults that are banded. You can find them with speckles, blotches, spots. You can find them half banded. You can find them orange, blue, grey, brown, red, almost yellow, black, like you name it, an eastern brown comes in. So they've got one of the smallest fangs out of any Australian venomous snake, and they also have a very low rate of envenomation. There was a paper published on it, and I forget the exact numbers, but more than 50% of their bites are dry. So a dry bite's like when they bite you and they don't inject any venom, and it's pretty cool to think that, you know, they want to conserve their venom for things that they actually need. They're a smart snake, and they've got great eyesight. You can see those big eyes, like they have really, really good eyesight. The younger animals have got venom more specialised to target lizards as the prey item, and then once they grow up a bit and become adults, their venom shifts to be better suited to killing rodents. They'll still eat lizards and stuff when they're adults, but that venom's more suited to killing rodents. I mean, it's so toxic it'll kill anything it's injected to, and rodents are the big thing that brings eastern browns into suburbia. It's so insane to me that there's such a horrible stigma surrounding eastern brown snakes, and yet the amount of people I've seen walking the footpaths here and walking straight past brown snakes with absolutely no idea is mind-blowing, because everyone will think that an eastern brown's out to chase you. It's waiting in the bush to grab you. As soon as you step off the path, there'll be one waiting to bite you. And these people are just mindlessly walking past eastern browns, or if they'll see one, it's just going to go in the complete opposite direction. It's just insane. They're so misunderstood, and like you can see now, the cars are there. I'm literally no more than 100 metres away from houses. He's going back up into the bush. This piece of tin, and there's an adult tiger underneath, and it is so nice.